So this is our project on extraordinary oceans. We're going to talk about global issues facing our oceans, Hinduism and how it can be related to oceans, the UN Sustainable Development Goals and actions they're taking towards the issues, and local issues related to the oceans.
Hinduism and its relation to oceans. Hinduism plays a significant role in its relation to oceans. The major Hindu belief is its strong emphasis on nonviolence, with the motive being to avoid harm towards marine life by minimizing ocean pollution. The Ganges River is very polluted, and because this flows right into the Indian Ocean, it can have a great negative effect on the marine organisms living in the Indian Ocean. However, Indian politicians are working really hard to clean the Ganges River, as this river happens to be very sacred to Hinduism. Hinduism discourages fishing practices, even though fishing happens to be very common in coastal areas of India, because of the fact that it results in violence towards the ocean in general. Examples of actions that Hinduism discourages are overfishing, polluting the ocean such as littering, and through industrial pollution such as oil spills. These actions can directly lead to ocean acidification. Here are two examples showing Hinduism's strong disapproval of ocean pollution. For example, loss of oxygen and other forms of ocean unsustainability is especially common in our oceans, and this has led to many sea creatures dying. The first example describes how ocean pollution has caused lack of oxygen in our oceans, directly affecting marine life. Another example is anthropogenic activities are clearly degrading the religion, because these are eliminating innocent lives and wounding the body of God. The second example has a religious reasoning and explains that anthropogenic activities such as polluting the ocean harms God. What can we do as humans to save millions of living beings from dying? Deforestation and water pollution in oceans and rivers should be prevented in many ways in order to save millions of living beings from suffering and dying. This will ensure that this world is a better place to live in for all living beings.
So essentially, why do we even need oceans? Well, we need oceans in order to survive. We see that the ocean produces over half of the world's oxygen and absorbs 50 times more carbon dioxide than our atmosphere. So with increasing deforestation and carbon dioxide levels rising, we need our oceans to absorb that excess carbon dioxide and produce more oxygen. Many other things such as rainwater, drinking water, and a lot of our food are regulated by the sea. Now, how can we fix our unsustainable actions? The UN has focused in on climate action and life below water, which effectively manage and put in place well-resourced regulations to reduce overfishing, marine pollution, and ocean acidification. So overfishing leads to a decrease in the biodiversity of marine life, which is not good for the marine ecosystem. There is not a single area of the ocean that's not affected by human pressures. Overfishing is defined as when more fish are caught and killed than the population can reproduce, which leads to a decrease in the population number. This also decreases the biodiversity of marine animals. Another way we use oceans unsustainably is by polluting them. So liquid spills, especially major oil spills and litter in the ocean, is going to directly decrease the health of our marine ecosystems. Also, when we overproduce or overconsume, our ecological footprints is increasing, and this has gotten so intense that it has begun to lead to climate change. So by warming our environment, many high Andean communities are also experiencing firsthand melting of some glacier peaks that they consider sacred. Not only is this runoff leading to our rising ocean levels, but the runoff is also becoming more acidic, which leads us to our next point. So our ocean health, which is being affected by unsustainability, is extremely shown in the health of corals, which directly relates to ocean acidification. Our coral reef health is deteriorating from pollution, ocean acidification, and global warming. Our reefs are home to more than 4,000 fish, but 25% of them are dependent at some point of their life cycle. Our sea surface temperatures are exceeding specific temperature ranges that disfavor the growth of corals, and human impact and warming temperatures have led to bleaching events, which is essentially killing our corals, which a lot of the marine ecosystem relies on for their health.
So in order to address these issues facing our oceans as well as other global issues, the United Nations developed 17 Sustainable Development Goals that were created in 2015 with the intent of being accomplished by 2030. And these goals call for global collaboration in order to form a more sustainable future for everyone. And then specifically, goal number 14 is the Life Below Water goal, which calls to conserve and sustainably use oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. And so within this goal, there are 10 more specific targets that elaborate on what actions will be taken and how the goals will be measured. So the targets are to reduce marine pollution as indicated by eutrophication levels and plastic debris density, increase economic benefits of small island states that are using marine sources sustainably, increase scientific knowledge, research capacity, and marine technology, sustainably manage and protect marine and coastal ecosystems by strengthening their resilience, and minimizing ocean acidification that is measured by pH. And then the other 5 targets are to regulate and end overfishing, illegal and unregulated fishing, conserve at least 10% of coastal and marine areas, prohibit certain forms of subsidies that are contributing to overfishing by implementing more international instruments like the satellites in the picture, provide marine resources and markets to small-scale fishers, and implement international law that provides legal framework for sustainable use of oceans. And so although the goals are set to be accomplished by 2030, as of 2020, the Economic and Social Council gave an update on the progress for the goals. So some notable data points are that sustainable fishing has increased from 0.1% of global GDP as of 2017 to 0.5%. Marine protected area coverage of marine key biodiversity areas has increased from 28% to 44%. 75% of states scored highly in their degree of implementation of instruments to combat illegal and unregulated fishing compared to 70%, which is measured like out of a score of 5. So more states are scoring 4 out of 5 than 3 out of 5. And 168 states have ratified or acceded to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, including 91 parties for the United Nations Fish Stock Agreement and 168 parties for Part 11 of the Law of the Sea.
With such a big city lying so close to the ports of water, major effects from pollutants, overfishing, and other sustainability aspects pose a threat to the ocean and its well-being. Throughout the history of Tampa Bay, the governing cities have equipped the ocean ecosystem with various tools, acts, and efforts to improve sustainability within the oceans. Since Florida is a popular vacation state and Tampa happens to be home to one of the biggest airports in the surrounding areas, it is prone to polluted water. Water pollutants in the Tampa Bay include chemical waste, lead, animal waste, garbage, or even a diversified byproduct. Because of these effects, Tampa Bay Waterkeeper has enacted the Clean Water Act. This act is an environmental law that protects living creatures under the water by punishing those who pollute the water. According to the Tampa Bay Waterkeeper, it also allows citizens to file lawsuits against polluters and report any inappropriate behavior regarding the matter. The Clean Water Act actively works towards promoting ocean sustainability by taxing those who do not respect nor care for the oceans. By putting forth this law, it allows for an incentive for people to not pollute the bay thus increasing ocean sustainability and decreasing pollutants. The Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA, was established in the 1970s. However, in the last decade, it has teamed with the Tampa Bay Estuary Program to restore coasts and bays in the city. Typically, the coasts are a common ground for discarding industrial, agricultural, and urban waste, according to the World Ocean Observatory. After much research on the sustainability in the Tampa Bay, researchers found that we have reached a point of destruction. These scientists dived into the demolition of seagrass in the estuaries. According to the World Ocean Observatory, the process of reviving the estuaries and seagrass was enabled by several Tampa Bay's biggest environmental organizations, as well as national services. With dozens of supported agencies meeting, the team came up with a viable plan. Overall, the Seagrass Renewal Project aimed to decrease the stress on the environment. At the beginning of this extensive process, nearly half of the seagrass across 400 miles had been killed. Today, nearly 38,000 acres that have been killed were not only restored, but lively. As you can see in the picture, the seagrass levels in Tampa Bay exponentially declined from the year 1950 to 1988. However, in 2014, once the plan was enacted, the seagrass had finally increased to what it used to be. Furthermore, while Tampa Bay strives to take physical actions on ocean sustainability problems within the city, it also focuses on educating citizens as well. The Tampa Bay Watch consistently hosts field trips, programs, and events that keep the public informed on sustainability in the Bay. The Tampa Bay Watch Marine Education Center is equipped with educators, biologists, environmental scientists, as well as marine biologists. The day-long educational event focuses and praises on the health and safety of the marine environment surrounding the Tampa Bay. Educational activities include sea turtle nesting, plankton encounter, water quality, coastal cleanup, and much more. Thus, by educating the public and the next generation of the Tampa Bay leaders, the program and other educational opportunities poses an influential way of spreading sustainability. Hinduism centers its religion and teaching around environmental protection through spiritual traditions. By manifesting the near existence of environmental safety and conservation, Hinduism strongly believes in sustainability, including the ocean. In the eyes of Hindus, Earth and its surroundings are considered to be sacred objects, those that not only should be valued but protected. For example, the Clean Water Act abides by the Hinduism way of life and promotes the well-being of the ocean. Hinduism also preaches environmental conservation, and the Tampa Bay Seagrass Solution is a perfect instance of cleaning the earth through spiritual tradition. To add, both the Tampa Bay Watch program and Hinduism focuses on the broader perspective of nature, displaying how each one of them are tightly related to one another. As Hinduisms preach the value of life, nature, and everything that habits the environment, this also includes things below the Earth's surface, also known as life underwater. In conclusion, ocean sustainability can be supported through the reduction of overfishing, combating climate change, and decreasing ocean acidification. This topic relates to the UN Sustainability Goal number 14, which aims to conserve ocean and marine environments. The Tampa Bay is also related as it continuously acts upon reviving, saving, and attaining their ocean sustainability goals. Overall, Hinduism can be in close relation to these topics as they preach, value, and view the marine environment as a sacred object.